All right, so I want to address this one. I get this one a lot. It's my kid won't listen to me. And, honestly, I think about this one a lot. And the reason why your kid doesn't listen to you is because you're not listening to your kid. So a lot of the times we want to be heard, but we don't want to take the opportunity to hear. And what that does is there's a couple different things that happen when we choose to want to be heard instead of actually hear them. Then all we're doing is teaching them that that's how to behave, that it's more important to get your point across than it is for you to actually seek first to understand what they're actually going through. So a lot of times I see this with both men and women, moms and dads, that with their kids, they try to jump into parent mode. And while it's fine, it's important to be a parent, that's our job. If you choose to just listen first, if you can listen to what they're telling you, and learn to ask the right questions and more selective questions. Interestingly enough, my daughter is just driving past in her car. And when you listen to what they're telling you, then you're going to have a bigger opportunity for growth within your relationship with that kid, but also more trust is built. So what happens is if a kid feels judged or they feel like you're just going to jump into mama bear mode or papa bear mode, then what happens is they're afraid to actually talk to you about what they're going through. And especially if they made a mistake, better is to help that child learn from that mistake. And it's less about the mistake that they made. It's more about how are they going to fix it? What are they going to learn from it? I think a lot of the times, again, we just want to jump into to fix it. And we want to jump into what they did wrong. Or when you're using words like shame on you, you shouldn't have done that. Why would you do that? What were you thinking? So a lot of those words, nothing constructive is going to happen after you make a comment like that. As soon as you make that comment, that kid's going to shut down. They're going to stop talking to you, or they're not going to give you the true story or the full story. They're going to leave things out. They're going to be selective with what they tell you, and they're going to be a little more apprehensive in the future to come to you and either admit that they did something wrong or ask for your advice at all. So you got to be really careful. I'm not saying just sit there and be their friend. That is not the intent. You need to make sure that you are still the parent first. My kids know very much so that I'm dad first, friend second. But with that, they also know that they can talk to me about anything that they want and that I make myself available to them. So if you want your kid to listen, learn to listen yourself. If you want your kids to figure out life, then you figure out life. If you want them to do well in school, then you teach them how to study and you show the example. If you want their attention, then you give them attention. If you want them to get off of their phone, then you get off of your phone. Model the behavior that you want your child to have.